sword on my back. You don't know how to act. Maybe you should relax. Maybe you should relapse. Just kidding. Stop.
Oh yeah, boys and girls, let's get it started here today. We're gonna get pumped up. I want to get you pumped up. That's why I had to change the song. Let's do this today. Yesterday was a good day. Today's gonna even be better. We're gonna be doing IPv6 subnetting and addressing today. We actually learned some stuff yesterday, and I feel super confident about what we're going to be doing today, boys and girls. So, let's dive into what we're going to be doing, okay? So, we're going to be doing some subnetting and some addressing, and we're going to be kicking its butt today. Oh, yeah, everybody. Who's your daddy? Enough of that. Alright, I'm done with that. Oh, I didn't think I even had the voice changer on, did I? Alright. Change that back. I don't think I even had the voice changer on. It's all good. Alright. Let's do it, guys. I hope you guys could have heard me when I was talking. Probably didn't, but what's up, Muffin? Alright. So let's dive right into things here today so we don't waste too much time. Get this away here. Put these down. Right. Change this. All right. All right, everybody. How we doing today? It's your boy, it's Joe. We're coming in loud and clear. I hope so, at least. All right. So today, so yesterday was actually a really yesterday was a really good coverage about introduction into IPv6. That was really good for not actually being doing a lot of IPv6 and stuff like that. So I feel pretty confident about what we did. Today, I feel even better about what we're going to be diving into today. Obviously, we're going to be doing some IPv6 subnetting and some addressing. This should be really fun. We should have enough time to get through this chapter because this chapter is not that long. We should have enough time to get through this chapter and then get over to Cisco Modeling Lab, and then maybe doing and then maybe some labbing some up and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, I'm super pumped up. I don't know if Maradoxbat is here, but shout out to Maradoxbat. I know he or she was taking their actually the CCNA certification today. So if Maradoxbat jumps in, make sure we all show Maradoxbat some love. Muffin, how you doing today, Muffin? Super pumped up to have you here. I love having you here, Muffin. But yeah, so without further ado, let's just get right into it, guys. So, all right, chapter 23. Obviously, we're going to be getting into IPv6 subnet address and subnetting, going over configuring and verifying IPv6 addressing and prefix, compare and contrast IPv6 address types, global unicast, and then unique local. So, what was I going to say? So again, we should be getting into, we should be getting into some labbing today too as well, and we'll use some of what they've done here. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get into some labbing. All right, but let's get started. So IPv4 organizes the address spaces in a couple ways. First, IPv4 splits addressing by class with classes ABC, defining unicast IPv4 addressing. The term unicast refers to the fact that each address is used by only one interface. Then within the class ABC address range, the Internet Assigned Authority, the IANA, and the Internet Corporation of Assigned Names and Numbers, the ICANN, reserves most of the addresses as public IPv4 addresses, with a few reserved as private IPv4 addresses. All right. IPv6 does not use any concepts like the classful networking concept used by the IPv4. However, IANA does still reserve some IPv6 address ranges for specific purposes, even with some address ranges that serve as both public IPv6 addresses and private IPv6 addresses. IANA also attempts to take a practical approach to reserving ranges within the IPv6 address space for different purposes, using the wisdom gained from several decades of the fast growth of the IPv4 internet. This chapter has two major sections. The first examines global unicast addresses, which serve as public IPv6 addressing, and the second major section looks at unique local addresses, which serve as private IPv6 address. So we have that right there, global unicast and then unique local. Okay, public. When we think global unicast, we think public, and then when we obviously think private, we think unique local. Okay. All right. Which of the following IPv6 addresses appears to be a unique local unicast based on its first few hex digits? Which of the following appears to be a unique unicast based on? So unique is private. Private. Let's go with FB80. I feel comfortable with FB80. So let's go with B. Whoa. Which of the following IPv6 addresses appears to be a global unicast address based on its first few hex digits? All right, based on its first few hex digits. All right. Private. So we're thinking public now. Public. All right, let's go with A on that one. You guys can tell me, correct me if I'm wrong. Remember, I haven't spent too much time diving into IPv6. So if you're out there, give me a shout, and then try to steer me in the right direction. I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting into all of it, but I'll apologize ahead of time. Kind of like feeling a little burnt out. Not too bad though. I feel pretty good, but between work and then school today, I am tired. Yeah, we've had people quit like crazy over that place. I mean, I don't care. It's not my. This is not. I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I'm not the boss of this place, so I don't frankly care when people quit. But the problem is I'm being called upon to work all these extra shifts, which is fine and dandy, but honestly, I don't have the time for it. Like, money's. How's this? I've worked jobs where I've gotten paid more for less of my time, where now I'm working for more of my time for less of the money. So it's kind of one of those things where it's good to get money, but it's also like I know the kind of money I should be making. So whatever. That's another argument for another day. Just feeling burnt out today. All right. When subnetting an IPv6 address block, an engineer shows a drawing that breaks the address structure into three pieces, comparing the concept to a three-part IPv4 address structure. Which part of the IPv6 address structure is most like an IPv4 network part of the address? So, when subnetting an IPv6 address block, an engineer shows a drawing that breaks the address structure into three pieces. Comparing this concept to the three-part IPv4 address structure, which part of the IPv6 address structure is most like the IPv4 network part of the address? So that would be the I guess the network part. How many does it want me to choose though? Sometimes this doesn't. Sometimes these are like multiple choice. Let's go with C, network part. It could be subnet. I'm between A and C. So what I'll do, I'll put C as my first answer, and then we're gonna do like a hyphen A. Maybe A. All right, so subnet and network, but I'm feeling network. All right, all right. When subnetting an IPv6 address block, an engineer shows a drawing that breaks the address structure into three pieces. Assuming that all subnets are using the same prefix length, which of the following answers list the name of the field on the far right side of the address? When subnetting an IPv6 address block, an engineer shows a drawing that breaks the address structure into three pieces, assuming that all subnets use the same prefix length. Assuming that all the subnets use the same prefix length, which of the following answers list the name of the field on the far right of the address? The drawing that breaks the address into three pieces, assuming that all subnets prefixes use the same prefix length. So the far right. So that would be subnet, right? For the IPv6 address, yada 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 yada. Which part of the address is considered the global ID of the unicast local address? For the IPv6 address, blah, 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 which part of the address is considered the global ID of the unicast local address? Wanna go with E, maybe? Alright, let's see how bad I do, guys. Woo! I think I got beat up on this one. You guys beat me up. Back and scroll. There we go. Alright. I beat kicked this one. Oh, cool. Yep, got you wrong. It's supposed to be C. Ooh, I got you right. I got you wrong. That's supposed to be D. I got you wrong. That's B. I got you wrong. That's supposed to be D. I pretty much got them all wrong besides one. All right. So D. That's getting from yeah. Which part of the address considers the global ID? And then interface ID. Then global routing prefix. Somehow got that one right. And C. All right. That was rough, guys. That was rough. You definitely need to pay attention to this chapter. All right, the first major section of this chapter focuses on one type of unicast IPv6 address. Let's make sure I got audio and stuff like that, guys. Oh no, that's it. Maybe I got it. All right. Just want to make sure everything was coming in loud and clear, everybody. All right. The first major section of this chapter focuses on one type of unicast IPv6 addresses, global unicast addresses. As it turns out, many of the general concepts and processes behind these global unicast IPv6 addresses follow the original intent for the public IPv4 addresses. Let me see. So this section begins with a review of some IPv4 concepts, followed by the details of how a company could use global unicast addresses. The first major section also discusses IPv6 and the entire process of taking a block of global addresses and creating a subnet for a company. This process takes a global unicast global routing prefix, creates an IPv6 subnet, and assign IPv6 addresses from within each subnet, much like IPv4. All right, so just similar to the concept of IPv4, guys. Okay, so remember there is a big correlation between IPv4 and IPv6. Okay. So they have so as long as we remember and understand the concepts of IPv4, we can generally use those concepts and ideas as we continue to progress with IPv6. Okay, obviously some things change, but for the most part, fundamentally they're very similar to one another. Okay, and that's just what we have to just keep in mind. Okay, in the history of IPv4 addressing, the world started out with a plan that gave every single host a global unique public facing IPv4 address. Okay, so that was the intentions. The intentions were when IPv4 was created that every single host had a publicly facing IPv4 address. Okay, so that was the intentions behind it all. So the computers that we're using today, the laptops, whatever the case is, the intentions were that they wanted everything to have a publicly facing address. Okay, instead of what we do now with we have private addressing, and then we have routers and stuff like that are performing network address translation against that, and then they're just using one IPv4 address that supports many. You know what I'm saying? So that ended up coming later though. All right. These companies either simply did not connect to the internet, or or to the so these companies either simply did not connect to the internet or to the internet. Did I just say the same things over and over again? I swear sometimes what I read is like it makes me just feel like I don't know how to read sometimes. All right. They use network address translation. So there we go. So they use network address translation, sharing a few publicly global unique IPv4 addresses for all the host connection to the internet. So again, that just states right there, when you can take one publicly facing internet and using protocol NAT, you can do one to many. So one to many public to private addressing. Okay, IPv6 allows two similar options of public and private unicast and addressing, beginning with the global unicast address as the public IPv6 address space, similar to IPv4 addressing. The IPv6 global unicast address relies on administrative process that assigns each company a unique IPv6 address block. Each company then subnets this IPv6 block and only uses addresses from within the block. The results, that company uses addresses that are unique across the globe as well. So it's just pretty much splitting up that IPv6 block that we've been given, and now we can allocate that out to the many of host nodes and whatnot. All right. The second IPv6 option uses unique. So remember, when we think unique, we think private. Global, we think public. Okay. All right. The second IPv6 option uses unique local IPv6 addresses, which work more like IPv4 private addresses. Companies that do not plan to connect to the internet and companies that plan to use IPv6 NAT can use these private unique local addresses. This process also works similarly to IPv4. The engineer can read the details in the RFC, pick some numbers, and then start assigning IPv6 addresses without having to register with the IANA. All right, so that's pretty much just like using, the 10 net, the 172.16 network, the 192.168 network. Right, you don't have to register for those. You can just start assigning, PCs and laptops and IPv phones with those private IPv4 addresses. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to tell anybody what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So that same fundamental concept is rolled over to IPv6 unique local addresses. Okay. I gotta down this coffee. We might even have a Red Bull today. So wake us up, buddy. All right. The following list summarizes the comparison between global unicast addresses and the unique local address. Okay. Let's move over to the whiteboard. That way we can kind of like demo stuff, because that kind of helps me. That helps me kind of retain things too, guys. So let's go. A whiteboard time. How's everybody doing today, though? Hope everybody's having a good day. Put you here. I tried to make you. Yeah, I did it. Good. All right. So, what do we got? So we got global unicast addresses that work like public IPv4. So global unicast, okay. Addresses that work like public IPv4 addresses. The organization that needs IPv6 addresses asks for a register IPv6 address block, which is assigned a global routing prefix. After that, only the organization uses the address inside of that block of addresses. That is the addresses that begin with an assigned prefix. So pretty much they ask, an ISP or an internet registry, like the IANA or whatever, and they register for a block of IPv6 addresses. Then they go back, and then that's when they start subnetting that block out. They start slicing that sandwich of IPv6 addresses out to the various departments, various nodes, and whatever have you, hosts and whatnot. Unique local works somewhat like private IPv4 addresses, with the possibility that multiple organizations use the exact same addresses, and with no requirements to register any of the numbering authority. So just like in IPv4, when we're using private addressing and whatnot, that's that same concept, guys. So when we're assigning something the 192.168 whatever, all right, you can have, your next door neighbor with that same exact private address inside of their house. And the thing is you could still reach the internet, and they can still reach the internet, and then you're not getting their traffic and they're not getting your traffic. Okay, that's how that works. All right. So remember, private and public, private and public. All right. So when we think public, we think global unicast. We think private, we think in unique local. All right. Where's me mouse? There's me mouse. All right. The rest of the first major section of this chapter examines global unicast addresses in more details, while the second major section of this chapter examines unicast, unique. I keep calling it unicast. Unique local addressing. I don't know why I keep calling it unicast. I'm sorry. I'm still stuck in like IPv4 mode, I guess. IPv6 global. So when we think global, we think public. Okay, global unicast addresses allow IPv6 to work more like the original design of the IPv4 internet. Each organization asks for a block of IPv6 addresses, which nobody else has. The organization further subdivides the addressing block into smaller chunks, called subnets. Finally, to those IPv6, finally to choose what IPv6 address to use for any host, the engineer chooses the address for the right subnet. To that reserved block of IPv6 addresses, a set of addresses that only one company has, it's called a global routing prefix. So let's say that one more time. Oh, I need this coffee to wake me up. All right, the reserved block of IPv6 addresses, a set of addresses that only one company uses. It's called the global routing prefix. Okay, a set of addresses that only one company uses. It's called a global routing prefix. Okay, I'm just saying that so I can install that into my memory banks, guys. Okay. All right, each organization that wants to connect to the internet and use IPv6 global unicast addresses should ask for and receive global routing prefix. Very generally, again, you can think of the global routing prefix like the IPv4 class A, B, or C network with the ranges of public IPv4 addresses. All right. All right. Let's keep it moving. The term global routing prefix. Man, I think I'm like struck with tiredness all of a sudden. The term global routing prefix might not make you think of a block of IPv6 addresses at first. The term actually refers to the idea that the internet router can have only one route that refers to all addresses inside the address block, without the need to have a router for smaller parts of the block. For example, in the figure shows the three companies with three different IPv6 global routing address prefixes. The router at the right has the IPv6 route for each one of the routing prefixes. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Man. I feel like a hot mess of potatoes today. Hold on, guys. We're gonna have to Red Bull it out. I can feel it. I can feel it. I should have got more sleep today. Hold on. Drinking coffee and then I'm gonna swig a Red Bull. Yeah, this is gonna be a great idea. I'll even think about it for a second. You can play Cold War. Alright, it's going down for real, guys. It's going down for real. I don't like to drink these things, but sometimes you just have to. It's going down for real. Name code, yeah. My hand's covering it all, right? I get beat up for advertising. Woo! Alright. Alright, so the term global routing prefix might not make you think of a block of IPv6 addresses at first. The term actually refers to the idea of that internet router can have one route that refers to all addresses inside the address block, without the need to have routers for small parts of the block. For example, in the figure shows three companies with three different IPv6 global routing prefixes. The router on the right has one route for each routing prefix. All right. So again, it's like the similar principles that we've already been doing. All right. Oh man, a friggin' stroke. I know it. I'm gonna stroke out live. I know it's not funny, but it's gonna happen. All right. The global routing prefix sets those IPv6 addresses for use by one company, just like a public IPv4 network or a classless interdomain routing address block does in IPv4. All IPv6 addresses inside that company should begin with the global routing prefix to avoid using other companies' IPv6 addresses. No other company should use IPv6 with that same prefix. And thankfully, IPv6 has plenty of spaces to allow companies to do whatever they want. So remember when we were talking about, we have 10 octillion addresses in IPv6. So it has quite a few addresses to kick around. So it can definitely spare some. So all right. Both IPv6 and IPv4 address assignment processes rely on the same organization, the IANA and the ICANN. All right, the regional internet registry, the RIR, in ISPs. So pretty much like we were talking about earlier, where you would go to either your ISP or the IANA and just register. It's there right there, the ICANN and the regional internet registries, and register for a IPv6 box. For example, an imaginary company received the assignment of the global routing prefix. The prefix means all addresses whose first 12 hex digits are are represented by the prefix yada yada yada. To reserve that assignment, process shows the figure and how it happened. So this is, I guess, the process here and how we get to that point. So the IANA gives the North American or Africa, or there's the Asian branch as well. So it cuts a slice from its big slice. All right. Again, this is like slicing up. It's like slicing up a sandwich and sharing that sandwich with everybody. So the IANA takes its sandwich, cuts a slice off, gives that slice to whoever. All right, and then they then take their slice and they slice it again, and then they give it off to whoever. And then obviously, like the ISPs and everybody else, they then break off other slices for everybody else. Okay. All right. Prefix assignment. Oh, you could see how that was going. Actually, yeah, let's take a look at that. The event timeline shows on the left, figure flow. In other words, the event on the far must happen first, following the from the left to right. All right, left to right. All right. The IANA allocates in IRN prefix 2001::/16. The IRAN and the RIR for North America, and then ask for allocations of the large blocks of addresses. In this imaginary example, the I'm umming it up, guys. It's not good. In this imaginary example, the IANA gives the IRA a prefix of all addresses that begin with 2001 yada 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 /16. Okay. Man, I'm beat up, guys. The Irene, I guess you would say, allocates the NAICP prefix 2001 ::0 DB ::16. Man, guys. Oh, what is wrong? Oh, Billy. Dude, I knew doing all those classwork today was gonna make me tired, but I didn't think it was gonna make me this tired. All right. Yep. For the new subnet, the IRN takes the subnet 2001, specifically all addresses begin with the 32-bit or 8-digit of the 2001 and allocates that speed. The NAISP assigns company one yada yada yada. Company one decides to start supporting IPv6, and so goes companies 1 decade to start. Yeah. You guys gotta pump me up. You guys gotta pump me up. I am hurting right now. Holy guacamole. I can't even read. I'm like looking at it and I'm getting dizzy. That's not cool. That's not cool, Joey. Try to wake up real quick, guys. I'm telling you, working these overnights kick my butt. I'm not made for for working overnights. Doing it though. Excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît. Man, I apologize, guys. It's gonna be a rough stream today. Rough. Alright, let's do this. Let's go over to CML. Maybe labbing this up right now will help me wake me up a little bit. Either way, I gotta figure out a way to wake up. Right now, I am about to fall asleep live on the stream. That's no good for anybody. Alright. Switch over. There you go. Alright. Let's do this, guys. Which I am hurting today. I am a hot mess. No, I'm hot, but I'm a mess right now. It's off. Alright, let's get over to. Let's get over to CML. Let's do some stuff, buddies. We'll get back to that in a second. We gotta go over though. All right. Yep. Right. Just trying to look at how to start doing all of this stuff like that. I mean, realistically, I should continue to read, but man, I'm a hurting bird right now. All right, guys. Let me I'm gonna apologize ahead of time, but I'm hurting today. I really am hurting today. I promised to make this up to you guys, so but it just won't. It won't be respect. You know, I want to respect you guys this time. Um, and you guys don't deserve to be watching me fall asleep during the stream because I'm so tired. Um, but we will make this up because I owe it to you guys. So we'll make this up on Saturday. All right. So we'll be back. We'll be back live tomorrow, same time. But we'll make this stream up though on Saturday because now we got to make this up. So um, I'm sorry guys. I mean again I'm falling asleep and that's just not cool. It's not cool. It's not cool to be doing it. Um, you know, while we're trying to study and stuff like that. I can't study in this shape right now, guys. So, um, yeah, I gotta get, you know, I should have got more sleep today. Woo! So, all right, guys. I'm gonna call it a night, and because obviously I gotta work tonight too. So, uh, I'll see you guys again tomorrow night. But as it stands for now, I gotta cut, cut it for now. So. Unless I wake up or something like that. So, all right, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. All right, guys, you guys have a good night.